Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to ZBrush Live with the Stylus League. I'm Mike Thompson. I got Bradley with me as always. What's going on, Bradley?
Hey, how you doing, man? How's everything?
Good.
How's everything, man? You're okay?
Good. Please don't leave. Please don't leave, everybody. Don't leave. Yeah.
Man, how's your day?
How's everybody's week going? Mine's going fine, man. How about yours?
It's good. Very soon, I will be hanging with the boys, watching some Deadpool.
Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you will. All right, well, let's talk about that a little later. Hey, so if you guys have not been watching the Sideshow Con, had a little bit of information yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. Bradley, do you have the thing you want to switch up real quick?
I do. I can share my screen.
All right, hold on. How do we switch? Double click you?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No,
If you double click me. No, that's not it.
That ain't it.
Who does this? Who runs this show?
There
we go.
All right.
Let me make it huge.
Yeah, I don't know how that looks. It looks kind of okay. So if you guys maybe didn't see the Stylus League or the Sideshow Con yesterday, they announced Bishop, and I don't know if you all remember, but anybody who has seen me do streams on ZBrush Live before might recognize this guy from when I first started him several years ago, so many years ago. Hey, Mari Cat. Yeah. So anyway, now this is my Bishop, and he's gonna be coming out soon. So the fine guys at Sideshow purchased this from me. They're working on right now showing it and getting the.
Nice.
There's gonna be like a swirly. Yeah, there you go. It's Anthony, and I'm sorry, I forget the other gentleman's name. But yeah, there's going to be like a nice portal background and light effects. Do you have that picture on there? I think it's on there somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be nice with swap out head and all that good stuff. So anyway, thought I'd show you that. I was excited to see that. But yeah. So anyway, today we will be working on. That's good, Bradley. Let's see. How do we flip it back now? Exit and exit. Nope. Okay. Hold on a second.
I got it. If you
there you go. All right, cool. All right. So yeah, today I will be working on finishing Judge Dredd because I want to get that kind of UV'd and into substance. I want to print it. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to do. So if you guys didn't see me working on Judge Dredd on the Stylus League, it actually looks like this. And I got Judge Death versus Judge Dredd. And so yeah, now I'm just kind of detailing stuff. I want to do some armor for Dredd's uniform and kind of finish this thing here. So I only see one person in the chat. Is there anybody else in the chat? What is going on? I see one person who I think I've seen this person before. Yeah.
It's cool.
Cat. Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get started.
Nice.
Let me open my pure ref for Dredd real quick.
Do you? I wonder. Do you have any others? I know you probably have it saved somewhere. Do you have any other stages of where you started with this guy?
Yeah, I do. Let me see if I can find it. Sure.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
It's Joel.
Hey, Joel. That's my coworker, Joel. Joel. What's up, dude? Yeah. Joel was in class with you. He actually took the
nice.
intro class with you. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so Bradley, talk for a minute while I find these pictures, please.
So when I get you to sign my Bishop, because I'm going to buy it.
No, you're not.
So I am. I'm going to buy it. I didn't want to buy it.
Yes.
But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna have it shipped to your house so you can sign it.
Mhm.
But I
Okay.
want you to pay for the shipping back to me.
Oh no, are you crazy?
I
that's
want you to.
that's.
I want you to pay for the shipping back to me. I want you to get it over to me.
I think that
But
shipping is going to be so much money. I'm not looking forward to that.
it's absolutely massive. Like it's huge.
Yeah, it's very big.
This is probably the is this the biggest piece that they've done from you?
From me, yeah. Well, kinda. Yeah, it's
You
the
think Old
biggest.
Dirty is bigger?
No, because Old Dirty Bastard and Maul and Ahsoka are both like they're like a 6 scale or somewhere around
Okay.
there. So let's see. Yeah, nah. Um, okay.
So Joshua has a question. Can you do things in my style of 3D drawing? My style is a mix between Invader Zim, of meta cannon, protest shades. I don't understand. It's a
Joshua,
very
you gotta explain. That's very sounds very specific. You gotta break
yeah,
that
man.
down for us.
You got like me stupid. You got to dumb it down for me. You got to dumb it down for me.
Yeah.
I do
So
remember Invader
I
Zim
know what
though.
Invader Zim is. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other stuff is.
Oh, not
Oh,
yeah,
is it?
yeah. So here's a refresher. I remember. Yeah, you did a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So all right, so here is let's zoom in on death. Here is where death is now. You see, I got texture on his hands and I got the
Yeah.
bat and all that stuff. And I think I even have color on here. Let's see, frame. I think I did a poly paint. So turn that on. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's come a long way. You see what death used to look like.
Man, looks awesome.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, so now I just need to work on Dredd some more. I'm gonna solo him out actually. So if you are wondering what this thing is on my screen, we have a workshop that's coming out. We're going to be teaching a 6-week class with heroic character design, kind of rendering, and all the steps in between. And so that Bradley, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have a 6-week course where Mike will be doing a live session and critiquing throughout. A lot of the class, all of the class is actually going to be recorded with some pre-recorded content to help the students throughout it. And what's great about this, if you ever wanted an opportunity to directly support Mike with no middleman, this is it. This is your chance. So you're able to take a class led by Mike, hosted by Mike, designed by Mike, and controlled by Mike. So
Yeah, I'm very controlling. No, I've taught classes for like Gnomon and 3D and like 3D Total and stuff like that before. I've never done one for myself, so this is pretty exciting because this is our first kind of a shot at that, and it's going to be our thing. So we have a lot invested in it. And if you haven't seen it on ArtStation, I posted up pictures of Alan, which is from Invincible. I put it on my IG too. Bradley can share the link for the ArtStation. But some pretty, that's kind of what you have to look forward to as far as the process.
nice. So, are you okay? You're not using Sculptures Pro. It looks like you. I thought you were looking using Sculptures Pro while you were sculpting.
Nah, not right now. This is just regular old ZBrush. No Sculptors Pro involved. I'm just using a clay build-up brush at the moment and turned down the stroke intensity to 1. Actually, it's 2. It's too heavy.
I believe your screen has frozen, Mike. Okay, you're back. You're back. Okay, sorry about that. It was frozen either on my side or your side.
Was it? Okay.
You're good now.
Cool. Yeah, so what I'm doing, I basically just blocked in Dredd before, and I'm going in and kind of working on some of this anatomy. And then once that's kind of where I want it to be, I will add some hard surfacey kind of armor details, padding and things of that nature. So maybe what I'll do is I'll keep a version over here so you guys can see it, and then I'll just work on the soloed thing.
So I did my best to not look at any Deadpool reviews, but it's trending well. It's trending well. I didn't read the reviews. I just went in and look at scores. That's all I did.
They have been really showing a lot lately, so I've been like watching. Yeah, I'll turn off the TV rather than watch any of that. At this point, like, you don't have to tell everything, you know.
I didn't think Deadpool needed that level of marketing. Like, it was, but like, I know Marvel hasn't had the greatest year and a half in in movies, but like, they kind of went overboard with the Deadpool trailers.
Well, I was going to say, isn't there only one real Marvel movie coming out this year? So that's why they're putting all their eggs in this basket. So what Bradley was talking about earlier, anybody in here who is already in the Stylus League and part of our Discord and all that, this is our first like meet up with everybody. Everybody is coming over. Bradley's going to be coming to stay over here at Casa de Thompson for a few days, and we're all going to see the movie together. We have Tony and Brad Brotman from the B-side, so gonna be nice. Looking forward to that. We're all going to see Deadpool.
I call middle seat.
You get the bump. You get the hump.
I don't want the end seat. I want the middle.
Nice.
I want the middle seat. Unless Tony steps up and says it's his, then I'm not gonna okay, it's yours, dog. Whatever you need.
Yeah, you can't.
You need to go get your. You need to get your popcorn. You need to get your popcorn. Yeah. I got you.
You can't go against Tony.
You know what? Here's the wallet. Just take it. I know it's not a robbery, but this is what I feel.
No, Tony's a nice guy. He just looks scary.
That's all I really need. I want to look scary. I don't want to be scary. I just want to look scary.
Exactly.
Like I don't want actual functioning muscles. I just want to look strong.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm too old to have functioning muscles.
So do you have a whole bunch of stuff to do before you can leave, Bradley?
I do have to finish packing. I have to make sure my flight's not canceled or delayed.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. That whole IT outage, was it this week or last week? Did that start this week?
Last week, I think. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, one of my students was affected by that, actually.
Flight or banking, because I know like banks in Europe and stuff was issues, and flights in the US were a problem.
Yeah, she's in Australia, and it was actually a grocery store.
Wow.
So the grocery store by me. Oh yeah, that must have killed.
I'm like, that was odd. I'm like, you guys, because they said because of the global IT outage. I'm like, really? For coffee? That's what we're doing?
Yeah. Well, the grocery store wasn't able to have registers. So how about them apples? For like a day and a half. So I don't know how that works.
Joshua said, I was interested in ZBrush because I'm going to make characters for my video games, and very attractive dark-skinned women and very beautiful bald men in short. And okay, cool. You could do all those things in ZBrush.
Yeah.
you accomplish all those things.
That's true. You can do all that. You came to the right place.
Yeah,
ZBrush will do all of that.
make wonderful dark-skinned bald men. Actually, I might shave my head so I can be a reference.
No,
No,
he said
no.
beautiful, good-looking people.
Ooh,
Good-looking people.
That hurts me. That hurts me.
So as I look at this, I'm like, you know what? Why?
Yes, all the ribs.
This is all all the ribs.
All the ribs.
And all the ribs. And the other thing too is this is all going to be covered up by armor. So probably let's just get to the armor.
All the ribs.
Let's get to the good part.
No, I can give you the feedback that you give me sometimes. It looks good. Very ecrochet-ish.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I do have some reference that I can pull up here.
Okay, Joshua has to be trolling us now. I just have to. He has to be trolling. That has to be a troll. He's going hard in the paint.
Let's see. You can make all of the skin tones in ZBrush.
Yes, all of them.
So bonus, every one of them. You know, some
Green
software,
ones.
some software only let you work on, you know, certain ones. This ZBrush to do them all.
Do all of them.
Yes. Yep, that's true. Okay, you made me forget what I was doing. All right, pure ref. You know what? Wait a minute, Joshua, are you talking about character creator?
No, he's talking about all of this is ZBrush.
Oh, okay.
Someone's asking Josh, are you talking about ZBrush or something else? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think I would like to think that he's talking about ZBrush, but it's getting deep. It's getting deep. It's getting deep.
Judge Dredd.
So, Mike, when you posed all that, did you use like Transpose Master or you like old school? Was he all geared up when you posed him, or did you pose him and then start making all the gear on top of him?
Yeah, for these it was Transpose Master, and then I made the gear on top of them. So a lot of times what I'll do when I'm working on these things is I will just have the body like this, like what you see right here. And then I'll kind of mask out an area and extrude it, and then I'll paint, you know, kind of sculpt in the wrinkles the way that you see on the legs. So if I turn on everything, that's what I did here.
Okay.
And that's what I did on Death as well. So yeah, Death needs a little bit more armor as well, but we get there.
Death looks dope. Like more armor.
He's got a well, maybe not. Yeah.
Like you got all the things.
He's gonna have more, all the armor. Yeah. So anyway, I got some reference here for this, which is good, and I based this off of a really kind of like iconic image. This one right here. I love it.
Nice.
Thanks, man. Oh, and then the other thing I'll do is we had James Cain with us. If you haven't seen it, don't watch right now. Later on, go to the Stylus YouTube. We had James Cain for 5 weeks, and James did this judge. What's her name? Judge Lady Woman. Look at how good this looks. Yeah, man, James is dope. If you don't follow James Cain, you should, because what are you doing?
Really cool. Like, and I guess and that I've seen you do this too. Like he made the pose first. Like he did a mock-up of the pose, and then he did some of the parts with symmetry, and then he started moving things over to his posed setup. Like it was pretty. Like it was very. He was very structured about how he went through it. Like he had the pose probably within the first stream, and then he started to refine it going on. So That's one
There
really
you
cool
go.
way of starting.
So you
Yes,
asked how I started.
something like that.
This is where we started off. So this was nothing more than a Z sphere that I went ahead and made the smoke thing, and then once I had
Yep.
that kind of curling around Dredd, I made this upper body part and started sculpting in the kind of the curly cues and stuff to make it feel a little more like the image. So that's how I did that. And then once that was done, I drew on top of it. So this is how my armor is supposed to look. This is what I was looking for. So let's do that now, actually. Can you hear me okay, Bradley? Am I loud enough?
Yeah. No, I hear you just fine.
Okay.
If maybe someone in the chat, if you guys hear Mike, fine. You know, I listen to Mike all the time, so he might sound fine to me, but not for you guys. So just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Blur says, "Did anyone make the Mari Cat voice? Not on this stream.
No, that's a deep
not
cut.
on
You
this
gotta,
stream. Yeah.
you only get that on the Stylus League. Okay. There you go.
Got a question.
Now.
Very nice sculpt. Are you going to prepare it for print in this stream?
I could.
Still,
Bradley and I have more streams to do. You know, I could totally do that. What I would like to do. So let me show you this thing I was talking about with Alan real quick. So what I would love to do. Hold on a second. Start station. I would like to do the whole process of getting him kind of UV'd and then into Substance Painter and like textured and all that good stuff.
but we're doing all of that in our class, but we want to do that on the live stream. All of that stuff in our class.
That's what's going to happen in the class. So, but I also want to print them. You know what I mean? So that's probably going to be cutting and keying will probably be what happens. Yeah. So if you're interested in the classes, the kind of stuff we'll be showing you how to do. And by we, I mean me. I always speak in the third person. Riley knows that. That's why he likes me so much. Yeah.
He's also doing the video instructing. Yes.
Bradley is going to be doing the supplemental material for this. All right, so let's.
I hate being a TA. TA's never getting any credit.
Everybody loves the TA. Everybody hates the professor. Everybody knows that.
No.
It's true.
No one respects the TA. No one.
Not true. All right, so what I'm going to do for this is do some slice curves here.
That color is perfect.
You think?
That was perfect color. You know, like I didn't realize how much I use the slice brush until the other day. I use it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't remember not using it. Has it always been there? It hasn't always been there, but I use it a lot.
Yeah, it's always been there. Have you been using it for work or for like the not Black Lightning? What is his name? Static Shock.
Static Shock. I do use it for work. So before we actually start doing, or I start actually doing like actual topology. We still I still ZBrush mesh and stuff like that before, like, you know, for the high poly sculpting. So nothing's like using slice curve to like force where you want edges to be.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine like not having it now. I just realized I use it I use it a lot.
You need it that much. It's a part of you.
It is. Like who else? Like, you know, I used to use clip curve, but that's not useful anymore because now I just realized I can just use slice and just like polygroup and I'm done. I don't use, like, or delete it, or if I cut something off, just delete it.
It's so clean.
Yeah, I never have good results with clip curve.
Yeah. Well, clip curve also pushes the geometry, right?
Yeah, like it flattens it, but like by the time I want it flattened, I just want it gone, so I can just like slice, delete whatever I polygroup and close holes and keep it moving.
Yeah, basically. Come on. Right.
One day I'm gonna try to use shadow box. I've seen some people do some cool stuff with like some cool blockouts of stuff with shadow box.
What was that thing that ZBrush came out with that replaced Shadowbox, where you could take like alphas and turn them into, like, you could make
Did that replace shadow
really,
box though?
I mean, kinda, right? Am I wrong? I thought it did. All right, so now I am going to Z-remesh this and see if it will follow the topology. All right, let's copy this before.
Slicing in ZBrush, it feels so much fun. Sometimes I forget. Yeah. It's so responsive.
Okay. Oh, Z-remesh, not project. There you go. Nice. That's
nice. Nice.
All right. So now let's do this.
I think I know what you're going to do, but I have a question on why you don't do it another way. I'm just curious.
Go for it.
How come you don't use like the panel loops to? Because I think you're about to use like ZModeler. You don't use the panel loops to kind of like make the panels and the gaps in between.
I totally could. I will tell you this. I personally have always had bad results with panel loops, and I know it's because I'm doing it wrong, but I think it's good because it goes to show you that there's a million ways to kind of do everything in here. So like all I'm going to do is just use this, have it nice and clean. I can even, if the edge loop is like too broad or whatever, I can make a new edge loop, right? And then just kind of make my gaps that way. So purple on purple. That'll work. Yeah, so now if you are wondering what I'm doing, I'm just making these, I'm making these loops here, and then I'm going to get rid of those loops, and then I'll have like really clean, come on, baby, get in there. There you go. I'll have really clean topology to work from.
And what ZModeler tool are you using to insert that? Oh, are you inserting a loop and making a poly group, or I can't tell what tool you're using?
Yeah, this is just poly group by poly loop.
Okay.
So I got some weird stuff going on here. So this is one of those things where I could even kind of like clean this up. So I know I don't need for these things to kind of join together. So I can actually delete some of this topology. Just pull this down some, clean it up. And now I can make my loop here. Poly loop. Oops. Oh, I got delete. Poly group, poly loop. And do an insert here. Come on. There you go. All right, so that's that side. Do the same thing on this side. And again, a million ways you can do this. I'm sure there's probably faster ways to do it. I like to do a lot with ZModeler, and it's just I can keep low topology. It keeps it really clean for me. All right, cool. So now I would just kind of isolate the purple, invert. Okay, delete hidden. Let's invert. Move this out of the way. Invert hit flip here. And I have this on my UI because I do this all the time. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this inward with all polygons, right? So this will keep my groups. Let's see if it does it here. Extrude all polygons. Here you go. So now I can just kind of give this some thickness like so. All right, turn back on Dredd. Oops, what is that? The ground. Go. So now I got my guy, and I can get rid of the ones that are kind of underneath of his pads there. Let me turn off this base too, because it's going to be in my
Not for
way.
nothing, that's way cleaner than doing it with poly loops. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's way clean. I like this. Yeah, because now I can like add an edge. I can also, if I wanted to have a like piping go around here, I could totally do that with no problems at all.
So can you please explain ZModeler loop groups you are doing right now?
So these are not group loops. This is just making polygroups and then just kind of manipulate them, deleting
I
the ones
think
that I don't want.
I think he wants to know what option inside of ZModeler, because I didn't know I can do that. That you just showed. Like yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what part is it? I'm explaining the how
So in ZModeler, you are making your loops through poly group, and I
yeah
believe you.
yeah
Yes,
yeah totally. Yeah. Let me show you that. All right. So if I solo this out again
yes,
over
exactly.
here,
What option? He wants to know that exact option. Yeah.
all right, cool. So we go to ZModeler, hover over over a polygon and hit my spacebar. Now I'll hit poly group by poly loop, right? So now I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in close so you can see it. All right, you'll see a little line. You see this little orange line? Can you see it? All right, so the orange line, if it's pointing this way, it will poly group that way. If it's pointing this way, it'll poly group this way. So you just
Nice.
poly group, and you can do multiple, like say I want to make this all one thing. There you go. Now I have it. And that's going to go all the way around on that loop. Right? So that's how you do that.
I'm gonna steal that one.
I thought you did this. You don't do this too? Okay.
I do crap the long way. I would have select the loop, then hit Control W.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But so, no, that's perfect. But that's perfect.
Nice. So now let me show you something else. I don't need these bottom parts. So I'm going to show you a quick way to delete them once this is done with the autosave.
Thanks.
All right. Okay. So now I know that everything kind of on this big piece I don't need. So I could either kind of lasso select this, or I could grab these and isolate them and delete them or whatever. I'm just going to hover over a polygon and go to delete. And I'm going to say island. And now I can just delete the whole thing at one time. Right. Just like one click. Click, gone.
Nice.
Right? There you go. So now I can take a look at this, and I know that I want it to be mostly straight, but I want to have some kind of like a bit of a round to it. So if I hit dynamic smooth, it's going to make it very, that's not too bad. Never mind, that'll work.
I can't tell. I just see wireframe.
Yeah. All right, so let's do this. I have my thickness. I'm going to add one holding line. Now, this is the thing that I should have done probably before. Nah, I got to do it now. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to crease. I'm going to crease edges. It'll be faster. I'll crease edge loop complete. And I'll just click here. That's going to go around the backs of all of these. So this is just going to hold this line a little better when I do a smooth. So I hit dynamic again, and see how the backs are nice and sharp. That just means they're not going to come out from underneath of the geo that's the pants, and that's what I want. So now let's cut off the poly groups, and if I do a little inflate, this should look more like padding and less like just panels. So let's go to deformation. Do a little bit of an inflate. Oh, not that much. Come on now. Yeah, probably better to punch a number in. Let's just try like 2. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah, now I can just sculpt it in. So
Nice. Good stuff, Mike.
thanks, man.
I see why people hire you.
Mm.
What else I see?
What's that?
I see why someone should take you as their teacher for 6 weeks.
Take that class. Buy my book. Buy my book.
In case you're just jumping in, Mike is holding his first training that he is doing, sponsored by him, for him, with him, all him.
Stylus League.
Stylus League stuff.
Not just me. Yeah.
You can
so if you're
go to our website, stylusleague.com, or you can scan that QR code and hang out with us in October for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. So a little janky in some of these places. So what I'll do now is I'm going to auto group these panels. Let's go to solo. I'll hit auto group. And instead of having like all these multiple fronts and backs, now I have each one of these sections is their own thing. And I can now select them one at a time and mask them. So if there's something that's a little too close here, I can nudge it, start to clean this up a little bit.
What do you think this was going to be the next one you print? This was going to be like a lot. There's a lot to print. Like, this is very intricate. Like, is this going to be one of your next ones that you're going to print?
No, I think I got to do Tetsuo. I've been talking about doing Tetsuo forever, and I already started cutting and keying him. So I got to do Tetsuo, and then I'll do Judge Dredd and Death. And if you're wondering what Tetsuo is, like last version of ZBrush, when you would start it up and you saw a kid with a real gross arm on the startup screen while you're waiting, that was Tetsuo from Akira. So I love poly grouping, doing auto groups, because it's just so easy to mask and then adjust. Get it very clean.
Love this angle. It's a great angle.
Hey, take it easy.
You're saying it's a great angle. That's all I'm saying. It's a great angle. You're getting all the gaps. Great angle.
It's a family show.
This is what everyone's thinking.
Nope, nobody's thinking that. Only you.
No, nobody. Nobody.
Hey, chat.
You
guys aren't thinking that. Tell Bradley. To get his mind out of the gutter.
All I said was a great angle. Why do I gotta be in the gutter?
In the gutter. You're better than that.
I don't think so.
Well, listen, I wasn't going to say that. I was not going to say it.
I don't think so.
No, you can.
I don't like when people make me better than I actually am. All right.
So Bradley, this is funny. You would enjoy this. Check it out.
Okay.
I had a meeting this morning
Okay.
in work with a new vendor, prospective vendor, and these guys are in Indonesia. And I come into the meeting and introduce myself. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mike. And the guys are like, "Hey, Mike, nice to meet you. We watch you on ZBrush Live. How cool is that?" I was like, "What?
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. Pretty,
You like,
pretty
that's
cool."
nice. Let's get to business.
I was like, you know what? We'll be on tonight. Check us out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Although I can only imagine, like, what time do you think it is there? It's probably morning,
Sleeping time. Is it morning?
right? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know time zones.
I don't either.
I just know West Coast in my zone. All right, East Coast. Anything after that, I have a world clock somewhere on my stream that
I do too.
I do. I got a world clock.
What's the worst for me to try to figure out
What?
is what's the one for everything? Universal Standard Time. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like, why don't you just give me math?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Why do you got to be in mountain time? You're not even in the mountains. What are we talking about?
That I understand. When you get into Universal Time, it's like I think they're 5 hours ahead of us, or behind us, or ahead of us.
I was telling Blur, like, now that Call of Duty's on Game Pass, it took like 200 gigs of my hard drive space, and I'm just gonna play the story.
Wait, oh, you're talking about Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I don't need this one. Don't need this one. Delete hidden. This is the best thing about dynamic subdivisions. I can like just delete it without having to worry about it.
I know it's a silly request. No, it's not a silly request. I would love to be able to make multiple creasing levels in one subtool versus having to separate something in a subtool to have a certain creasing level. Like, I would like to assign different creasing levels to parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without having actually, you talking about dynamic subdivision crease
No,
levels?
so when you crease something, you can put the slider like 1 through 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, let's say everything in that subtool that you're creasing, you can only have like 3. But what if you want a different part in that same subtool to have creasing level 5? You would have to split it off. You have to split it off and crease it by its, like, that would be 5, and then something else would be like 3. You can't assign different creasing levels within the same subtool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to actually get away from dynamic and do actual creasing. Like, you know what I mean?
No, you have to split it off. Like, you have your crease slider. Like, you can't do like one edge for level 4 creasing and another edge level 5 creasing, or
But
2.
you know what? You wouldn't have to do that, really. You know what you could do? You could keep it dynamic, and you could. So here, I'll show you the way that I do that kind of stuff. Let's say I want this all to have this level of crease, but I want to have a sharper edge on the top of this blue piece here, right? So what I could do, get that off there, come down here. What I can do now, let's turn off dynamic. Where is it? Turn off dynamic. Okay. Now what I can do is I can just insert a holding line, right? So let's take this.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, but that increases your poly count.
I mean, a little, right? So now if I hit dynamic, see how that edge is sharper than the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Like the closer I slide it, so you know, if I hit slide here, edge look complete. Like the closer I slide it, the tighter it gets. So you can adjust your creasing on the fly like that, basically with just a holding line. I didn't even need to add that. I could just come over here and grab that other one and just slide that over. And now I have like a sharp edge there and everything else is kind of soft. So it's a bit of a workaround.
I'm adding Mike's Instagram there so you can follow him there. They were asking for your Instagram where they can see your work. I just sent it in the chat.
Yeah, you know what? My link tree, I turned off my thing. Hold on. I'll put it up for a minute. No. Okay. No, I won't.
It's okay. You can get his link tree on Instagram.
There it is. No. There it is right there. You go to my link tree, everything is there. The class, Instagram,
I'll put it in
socials,
here so they can copy it.
Yeah, it's all there.
What's this link tree? There it is. Open Mike's link tree.
Okay. So, almost to the exciting part. I just want to make sure it's even first, and then we'll get into some sculpting. All right, so what I like to do after I kind of get something like that is make do some piping around it just to act like it's got something to be seated up against. So let's just come over here. Let's see what I got. No, that's too much. Turn down the intensity. Step up on the poly. Actually, I'm going to do a standard brush with an alpha. Yeah, that's good. Turn up my lazy radius so now I can make a nice smooth line. Oh, and before I do it, I'm going to go ahead and do a history save state. So if I make a mistake, I can just bring it back to how it was before. You know, this reminds me of. I used to work on the Hasbro G.I. Joe guys. This is like some Cobra gear. Cobra. There you go.
Maybe when we do our next, did we ever do G.I. Joe when we did a month project? Maybe that could be one of the things we do.
No.
We'll do a month project.
That'd be fun.
I'm slowly starting to miss those.
I did so many of those illustrations, man. I'm glad I took a break. If there are any G.I. Joe collectors in here, let me know. That fan base is crazy, very deep.
I don't talk smack about G.I. Joe people.
Not crazy. I mean, like, I mean, there's a lot of them, a lot of big collectors. Like,
no, that's what I'm trying to say. I personally will not. Because well, they collect soldiers. Like I don't like soldiers. Like anyone who's collecting soldiers, you got it.
I had a meeting, not a meeting. Like I went on somebody's podcast. It was a big G.I. Joe stream, and they collected. I think the guy had 3 of the USS flags. So remember the old the big aircraft carrier that you could put the jets on? He had 3 of those, and those things are like I can only imagine they got to be like $300 to $500 now. It's crazy.
I'm just like picturing. I can't wait to picture your face when a bishop shows up at your house and it's not yours.
What? What are you talking
about? No, I'm gonna ship my bishop to your house. I'm already planning it. I'm already
You might as well just fly that over and carry it on the plane with you, dude.
Really? You think it'll be cheaper?
I'm thinking, yeah. Just get a seat for him. Get a seat for him.
So it's gonna be so funny. You open up like, nah, dog, that's not yours. I just need you to sign the box.
Hey, listen. I'll be like, oh yeah, no, that never came. I don't remember getting that. Like, Mike, why do you have two bishops behind you?
I'm gonna throw my Iron Man in the closet or throw it away.
Oh, don't say that. That Iron Man is great.
It is. It's just not gonna be bishop great.
All right. Okay. So got the little things now. I think that's fine.
You think you'll approve a Stylus League expense for one?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, we're there. We're there.
Hey, boss, I need this for reference. It'll benefit the Stylus League. Can you approve this?
Okay, I'll tell you what. You get us enough students to cover that expense, and I will get you a bishop.
Heard that, Blair? Get to work. I can't do everything.
All right. So now what I can do is you might be wondering about some of these, like the nice little folds and stuff like that. That was all done using the Happy Trails brush, right? Which is this one right here. Let's see. Oh, I don't have enough geo here. Let's see. I don't have any geo there. All right. Let's apply the dynamic and look at it. So now we're at 87,000, which is still kind of low. Maybe I'll give it one more subdivision level. And then now I can kind of go in and do some stuff like this. Let's turn this up a little bit. Let's turn way down. There we go. So that's one way to do it. Another way I can do it, instead of doing like every single one at a time, is I have some brushes that I made. Let's see, brush. Clothing brushes. And cloth. All right, so wrinkles. So I made some VDM brushes here that if I move this, you can see I can kind of just drag out. That's too heavy. Let's turn this down. Yeah, oh, that's the one I want. Let's go with, let's try this one. There you go. So now I can just kind of do something like this. The one thing that you want to be careful about is I wouldn't want to use this over and over and over again because it'll start to look real samey. So I can, if you press Alt, it will do the inverse of what I'm doing here as soon as this is done saving. So then I can kind of drag it out like that, right? And once that's done, now I can kind of go in with my Happy Trails brush and I can build up on that a little bit. Make it look a little more realistic. Right. I usually find that it's so kind of like relaxing for me to just do it by hand. I just do them all one at a time. Right, like that. So after I do these, if I say, hey, you know what? This is cool, but it's maybe a little too pronounced. I don't want everything to be like super wrinkly. These are supposed to be padded. So what I can do is I can step down on the subdivisions and kind of smooth them out a bit. And then step back up again, maybe smooth a little more. And by doing it to lower subdivision levels, I'm not losing detail. So when I step back up, I still have the wrinkles. They're just less pronounced. there's that. I do want to
That
get
panel
something on this.
process that you did you do? Is that what you did with the kind of the same thing on the like the eagle on his
Yeah,
arm?
totally. His
Okay.
whole that's all ZModeler. Yeah. So this originally was just a sphere that the Geo kind of ran that way, and I did the same thing with a cube, and I mean not a cube, a cylinder, and then the legs and stuff. This part up here I kind of sculpted. That's why you can tell it's a little oops, it's a bit less hard surfacey. But if I wanted to make it have harsher edges, I could just grab like the ZBrush and then just kind of do something like that, right? Maybe not that hard, right? Like something like that. Sharpen these edges a bit. I'll normally do that, and then I'll come back with the H polish tool and kind of tap at it until I get it to look the way I want it to look.
If anybody have any questions in the chat on what Mike is working on, or in general, just let me know and I'll pass them over to him.
All right, so let's get this here. Let's pen. Now, you asked earlier about working in symmetry. Like doing this kind of stuff would have been a lot easier had I done it in symmetry. This the paneling, because you really only have to do it once, obviously. And on this side, I have to, now I have to try to make the left and the right feel similar. But you do it enough times, and it's not that big a deal.
I think you thrive on hard mode.
I enjoy it, man. Like
I know.
I was telling somebody, I have a really hard time sculpting characters out of symmetry because I need to see the action in order for it to really, be dynamic for me. But I do them in symmetry now. You saw that Cammy was in symmetry until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, if you guys haven't seen it yet and you use Reallusion, Bradley and I both did tutorials for his Guyver and my Cammy, and it's on the Reallusion site and on their YouTube as well. Bradley can maybe find a link for you. It's pretty helpful. Right, so I'm going to get this close, and then maybe I'll just do some slicing curving to get it to look a little better. You know what it is. Yeah, I think I want this to go all the way over here. Yeah, that's better.
Copy. This is Mike's Kim.
Okay. So this is old school. All right. Uh-oh. Am I still in the room? Brad, what did we do? Lose music?
No.
Okay.
Sit back.
Okay. All right. So this is old school. I made a mask. I'm just going to do an extraction. Here. Extract. See what it looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Right. Say single-sided. I don't want double-sided. Single-sided is good. And extract. And say accept. All right. So what I like to do to keep the edges clean. Now, this one, not super critical, right? But let's say I wanted to have this piece be as clean as possible, right? I like to do a blur here like that, right? And sharpen this. So I'll go over to masking. I'll hit sharpen like so, invert it. And now I will make this a poly group because right now I just have the front and the back are their own group. So now I'm just going to say poly group, right? Now that edge is its own group. So I can say, get rid of that, right? Now I can add an edge loop to this whole thing. And if I go back to the part that has the front and this edge piece, and I do a polish by features, let's do this, polish by features, right? Invert. Now this is pretty clean. So let's do this. I'm going to shrink. Let's do it again, polish by feature. All right, now you see how sharp those edges are? Pretty sharp. So now I can delete hidden and ZRemesh this. So I want this to be somewhat symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some polygroups here. I'll just split this down the center of the chest. All right, that's its own group. I'll kind of split it the middle of the waist. Okay, make that a group. And maybe under the pecs as well. So let's do that. So it follows this flow. That side, oops. And then this side. All right, so now I like those groups. Maybe I'll do one more here. At the love handles and say group. All right, now. Oops. Come on now. There it is. All right, so now I can ZRemesh it at half. I'll keep the groups, detect edges. Smooth, I'll maybe put it in the middle here. Say okay. When it remeshes, it's going to respect those poly groups, and it should give me like a nice kind of ordered edge loop here. All right, so let's just do that again. ZRemesh. ZRemesh. Okay, right. So that's pretty clean. Pretty clean. Let's do it one more time.
The video is too blurry. I can't tell what Mike is doing except for the model and reference. So I think you might have to zoom. You have to zoom in a little closer, Mike, so they can see. And I think YouTube compression is like compressing it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So whatever may look normal to you probably have to be a lot bigger.
Well, yeah, I can't make it much bigger. Does it look blurry for everybody else? Is there more than one person that it looks like this for? Because it may not be everybody. Let me know if this stuff is blurry for you guys. All right, it's saving. As soon as it's done, I'll keep going.
I'm saying the compression is really
compression's bad. Can we do anything about that?
The only thing you could do to make it better for them is to make sure you're modeling bigger on the screen so they could see it. There's not much you can do.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get it any bigger than this, guys. All right. So that is now cleaner. That's cleaner for me. I like that. Okay. Yeah, and now I can just start to detail some of this stuff. So I'm going to give it some thickness first. Solo it. Also, I don't need it to go all the way down into his legs, so let's get rid of that part. I think I can get rid of, oh yeah, let's get rid of all the green. delete that. I'm gonna flip this. And then again, I'm going to do the thing where I just extract not extract, but give thickness to the whole thing. So I'll say extrude all polygons and then just give it some thickness. There you go. Okay. So now, because I kind of made loops around the pecs the way I did on here, what I can do is I can start to, let's get rid of that thickness for a second and flip it back. What I can do is I can start to polygroup to make this stuff. So I will, I want it to be kind of semi-rigid, so I don't need this much, this many loops. So I'm just going to go in and delete some of these. And I do this a lot. Like I did this on my Allen. I like to kind of get this thing lower. I could do auto retopology, but it would probably make it, it would probably kind of throw off everything for me here. So I only really care up here in this part. And so now I can start to make some new groups. Let's do this. I'm gonna slide, let's slide this down a bit. Insert polyloops. Here you go. Come on. Oh. There you go.
You think,
all right. So
Deadpool's going to survive in the movie?
I think he's pretty safe.
You think Wolverine's going to die in this one? They can't kill him again.
I wouldn't kill him again. That's too much.
Yeah, you can't kill him again.
Don't kill him twice. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, like we so know all the details.
No. I'm talking about him dying the first time.
Oh,
from that movie. That movie from how many years ago was that?
Probably 4 years. What's going on? 4 years, maybe longer, maybe 5. It's been a minute.
Still great movie. So good.
Years before COVID, so that was a long time ago.
Seriously? Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I think it's been a minute, man.
I'm gonna need you to IMDb it right quick.
I am. Came out 2017.
Damn. I did not know it was that long ago. Okay. All right. So
blurry, not watchable. Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like what's let's see. Maybe wonder if I turn off substance. Wonder if it's eating up too much bandwidth. You don't think it's that, do you? Discard.
Do you have a Wi-Fi signal in your inside of your StreamYard? Like, do you see like a little Wi-Fi panel, like in the top corner where you see the live in the counter?
No. Do you?
Okay. No, if you don't, that means that your connection is fine. It only comes up when your connection's not so great.
Yeah, I don't have that. What does it look like for you? Is it blurry, like super blurry for you too?
Not. But let me look at it on YouTube because I'm in the studio with you. So let me check it out on YouTube and let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Sorry, guys. Do a quick little bit of housekeeping. Stream.
Helping, so I'll check and see, but I don't think there's much you'll be able to do about it. But I'll check this.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody who's watching, do me a favor. Let me know what it looks like for you. If it's 1080p but not sharp. I'm using OBS. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
blurred. It looks really blurry.
All right. What did we change in OBS before? I didn't change any of the settings.
Yeah, it's. But
you know what I could do? Let me get rid of.
You could switch
OBS.
to what
I'll
you
just
could
do
do,
a
Mike.
raw
We won't
stream,
have
right?
music and just do a raw stream. Yes.
Well, no, I'll do that. You'll have music. Here, I'm gonna stop OBS and I'll come in just without OBS. Let's do this. All right, bear with me, guys. Share screen. So let me drop off. Present. Share screen.
Song and dance.
Window. Oh, we did lose music. Why did we lose music?
Yeah, because when you share raw, it swaps out the music. But I will let you know if that made. I'll let you know if that made a difference.
Yeah, let me know if that looks any better. Anybody?
It's a little better, but not night and day better.
Dag. Sorry, guys. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Let me see. Camera. Yeah, it's at the highest definition.
They're saying clearer on Twitch, even. Yeah, because
I
think YouTube is compressing it a little bit too much.
Okay. Now, if I get rid of my other thing, can we have music again? If I get rid of the like this, let me see.
Changing the bitrate would help. The bitrate is. I know for a fact my bitrate is extremely high, and I am blurry on there.
Mine is high too. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you add the music back now or no? Add this.
No, as long as you're sharing the raw source, only one source could be shared at a time.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Sorry, guys. No music. But if it looks a little bit better, it was worth it. Even a little bit better. I don't know why it's doing this. It's always something. Auto group. Frame. You know what? I do have touch controls on, and it's making it a nightmare. Oops. Okay. So yeah, this is the same type of thing I was doing before. And I'm just going in and making the stuff on the side here. Get that. I don't like it so quiet, Bradley.
All right, let me sing in your ear.
Do say something.
Do it. It's Friday night.
No, don't do that.
Time is no. No.
I don't know. What is that good for you guys, or is anybody else's ears bleeding? No. Okay. I like that you picked such a recent song. Like that's very topical.
Hey, dog.
Very,
hey, man.
Very new.
I got it's blurry, but I got some grays in here. Nice. Grays in here. All right? It's in there. All right.
Okay.
No.
Stupid. I'm sorry. Bradley and I are only funny to each other. So
hey, dog. I'm about to get my Motown swing on. I'm about to give some Boys to Men. Like, come on now. We do this.
No, don't do that. No. Don't do that.
Damn.
No. It's bad enough. We got blurry screen and nobody's sticking around for any of that. All right.
Like I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at it live on YouTube. It's no different with the single screen, so you could probably come back on. It's the same thing.
Just put it on. It still looks bad.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's YouTube. There's nothing you can do.
Let's see. Hey, Mike, is your bishop a sideshow bishop now? Yes, sir.
It is.
It's theirs. They are the proud owners of a bishop, big old baby bishop boy. All right, I'm gonna turn on my thing, and we can have music again. Start virtual camera. Start cam. Stop sharing. Now, can you make it go back to the way it was before?
Left
How do you
turn.
get me on the thing?
I'm about to do it now. Wait, it's this one. Then I move this one over. There you go.
There you go. All right. Is it wrong that I want to hear you sing "This Is How We Do It" some more?
Hey, dog.
Don't
Jam.
do it.
It's a jam.
Don't do it. But I'm just saying, I didn't hate that as much as I thought I would.
Dog, it's a jam, dog.
All right. So another thing here. Let's see if I can do this. Might be able
Comics
to.
Legend says, congratulations. Did you have to make any license or revisions for the bishop?
No. So actually, Sideshow. I have a good friend at Sideshow. He reached out to me and said that they needed to do a bishop and wanted to know if they could present that to Marvel. And I said, of course, say less. So they did, and yeah, Marvel signed off on it just like that. I mean, I didn't have to do an awful lot at all, actually.
But my thing is,
Yeah.
it's only going to reward your long behavior of stuff. Like you can always say, well, if I wait on it, it's like Sideshow might buy it or Marvel might buy it, and I can't argue with you. Be like, yeah, you're right, that did happen.
And it only took how many years? It took
A
only
minute.
a long time. A long time. I was like, I was like, Bradley, listen, this is like holding on to a stock. If I hold this thing long enough,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna buy it. And it worked out. They bought it. No, man, I was so surprised yesterday. Somebody was it DK? Somebody reached out to me yesterday and was like, "Hey, man, congratulations! I saw the bishop, and who was it that reached out to me? Man, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, but yeah, it was like I was like, what are you talking about? And then I saw it, and I had to call Bradley, and I sounded like it was Christmas morning.
What?
I haven't been able to talk about it for a long time.
Yeah. Almost forgot you did that thing.
Yeah, right.
Goes to show you how long it takes for those things to get made and done.
Yeah, production takes a long time. But the show overall is amazing. Bradley, have you gotten to watch any of the Sideshow Con?
No, I haven't. I'm probably the thing is, I have a problem with buying. I buy stuff and I shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, join the club. That's kind of they built a whole model around that. So there you go. Over.
Comics Legend says, I found out about your new classes. Looking forward to the launch. Are the courses lifetime access? You get personal access and you can store the files. We are not hosting them on a server. We're giving them to people. So the way the class is structured, live sessions, there is pre-recorded content to help you through your project. The goal is that Mike would like to sculpt a little in the class, but also do a lot of sculpt overs, feedback live in the class. And the projects will be, and his portions will be recorded and given to you 2 days after class. So what you do with those files is up to you. If you lose them, I will have a record probably for a limited time. If I can remember who you are, if you lose them, I can get them back to you. But the goal is that we're not holding on to them. We're giving you all the goods.
Yeah, and Bradley will be watermarking them, so you don't have to worry about like stuff ending up on Pirate Bay and all that.
But if you're interested in learning from Mike and the Stylus League team, it's a great course. And people have been messaging me asking me what they should work on, and pick any character you want for the class. and it's open. Or if you want, you can work on what Mike is going to be working on. We are saving. You won't know what he's working on until you get in the class. I will tell you
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, it's
And
very
just
good.
so you guys know, Mike has started in advanced on the project, so it's going to be kind of like a cooking show, right? So you will have a finished final piece from Mike by the end of the class, but as he's going through the lectures, he'll be starting over on pieces. But I can tell you now, Mike is probably weeks ahead of the class.
I gotta be, right? Like, you don't want me to be
Yes.
coming in there and pulling a ZBrush live where it's like, oh, okay, he managed to get a little tiny bit of this thing done today.
Yeah, maybe he might get a face.
Yeah.
So he's weeks ahead of the class, and it's a pretty super dope piece.
Thanks.
So if you're interested, you can go to stylusleague.com and go there. It's live now. We start October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So this class will not be covering statues and collectibles. It's more so heroic characters, substance painter, rendering. We'll see. Like, I don't know if we can do something special in the bonus. We're thinking about what we can do for bonus content, but also like really cutting and keying and having a whole course. Maybe that can be something we do later. But this one's more of like getting something like you see on this Allen, or even at the bishop level, but rendering and texturing that in Substance Painter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if you can throw the Allen up. I don't have your direct Allen access, but like similar to what he did with Allen.
Yeah, put the ArtStation up there. Let's see. It's just here, I'll give you a link.
I won't be able to take over your screen. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Here you go. Copy and paste.
Yep. So the Allen that's the goal. If you look at what he did for Allen, that's what we're targeting for the class.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get 90% there. But if you want to cut a special cut and key class, we'll probably look to do something shorter later down the line.
we were thinking about doing a print type of a class a bit later.
Yeah.
But this is great. This is great for anybody who's interested in kind of digging into the process of taking a base mesh and turning it into a heroic figure with the anatomy and stuff. We'll be covering that. We'll also be covering making UVs for it, and I'm not, I'm going to show you a way that you can get to the fun part as fast as possible, which is getting into Substance Painter and really getting into the meat of painting and doing some really cool texturing. And then once that's done, we'll take it out of there, go into Blender, set up a nice little lighting room, and do some really dynamic lighting. So on that ArtStation that you're looking at, all of that was rendered in Blender with cycles, and it was sculpted in ZBrush and textured in Substance Painter. So you get a kind of like a workflow, a pipeline of how you can do the whole thing.
Let me go through this. I see many courses for Substance Painter, but for Mari, it's hard to find. Why? Because Mari is used a lot in VFX and film, and if you look at the job ratio to games and stuff, you'll find that there's more like studio game development and things happening in Unreal. And also, Substance Painter is getting closer and closer to Mari. I have known some people who are working on film who have used Substance Painter, but Mari is still dominant in that field. But it's coming. But that's why Mari's in film and stuff like that. So that's why you don't see a lot of it. And it's not as easily accessible to get. I think it costs a lot more than Substance Painter as well. Got a question in: how do you do your low poly modeling in ZBrush? Careful.
Low poly modeling. So I do a lot of Z remeshing. So what I'll tend to do sometimes is sculpt up some, high poly stuff using Sculptures Pro. That's why Bradley was asking earlier if I use Sculptures Pro for the part I was doing, or I will do what I'm doing now, which is I'll block it out using ZModeler after I have an extrusion or something like that, sculpt in like the high res details, and then I will use poly groups to kind of hold those forms and Z remesher, which is what I'm doing actually right this minute to try to lower the resolution. So for something like this, because it's already low in a lot of places here, what I'll probably do is turn off, not probably, I just did it, turn off smooth groups. I want to make sure that I have something to project the details back from. So, I held down control and clicked on the timeline here. It made this little slider white. And now if I do a Z remesh, hopefully, there you go. I have something that's cleaner and I can project the details just by hitting project history. Project history. And if I lost anything, it brings it back. Now, the great thing about this is if I turn back on the model, you can see that it's pretty clean. It's pretty low. I could make it lower than this also. Let's just see what happens. Let's do half again and see what happens. If I get greedy, sometimes it kind of messes it up, but let's just try. You know what? Sometimes things just work right on out. So that's actually not bad. I like that much more. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. Bradley, are you still in here? Oh, Bradley's gone. Okay. Bradley has a storm at his house, and that's why we lost him. But he'll be back if he can. So yeah, there you go. Pretty clean, pretty low. Now I can give myself some thickness and then continue to detail. You can use this from like UVs and things of that nature. So hope that answered your question. Hey, Tariq, how you doing? All right, let's turn this back on. Bradley, no worries if you can hear me. Come over here. I'm going to project the details from his body onto this. Project history. Okay. And it's okay that it kind of penetrates the skin because I'm going to give this whole thing thickness. So what I'll do again, you know what? I'll do these one at a time. Let's say extrude, polygroup all. All right. Let's see, tap. Well, you know what? If I'm going to do it that way, I might as well just do all polygons. So there you go. Something like this. And I can now say auto group like so. I'm going to do some selective creasing, and then I will do a use dynamic subdivision. All right, let's see what else we got here. Thanks for the answer. And do you do manual topology in ZBrush? I don't do it in ZBrush. I'll clean up stuff, right? So like if I have just some rogue polygons that are just making a mess, or maybe some n-gons or something like that, I'll delete and kind of do some manual read topology with ZModeler. I do love it for that. But normally, if I have to do something like that, I'll move to a different application, um, Maya or Blender or something like that. Let's see what else we have. Hey, Mike, you've talked about 3D printing with your resin, Anycubic, but you also 3D printed with an FDM printer. What was your FDM printer and how was the quality? So I love my FDM printer. It is a Creality something. Oh, it's on the floor under my desk. I'm telling you, I started using resin and I haven't gone back, but it's a Creality Ender 5, I think. And the quality is great. Let me show you what I did with it, actually. Hold on a second. So the quality is pretty sweet. And I was able to get some giant prints. So I printed my Hulk really big. I've since printed him with resin, but you can see like the details are crazy. It held a lot, and the cleanup was not so shabby. That was on the Ender 5. So hope that helps. Comics Legend. All right, let's go back. Well, let's go back to this. All right, so for this one, I'm just going to add some holding lines first, and then I'll do some selective creasing as well. I like working this way too, because if I need to, I can add edge details like piping by just doing a selection of the outer edge and dragging that out. So it's pretty nice too. All right, so let's see what it looks like. I'm going to turn the, oh, I don't have creasing on yet. All right, let's do dynamic and see what it looks like. So yeah, I mean, that's softer than I want, right? Like it's okay, but not exactly what I want. So what I'll do here is I will, uh, mm, let's just go with some creasing and see what happens. I think I'm going to have to add some loops as well, but crease, edge loop complete. I know I don't want it set to 15. I only, for dynamic at the moment, it's only set to like 2 levels of subdivision. So creasing at 15 will make it like razor sharp, and I don't want that. So I'm going to turn that down probably to like 1 and set my dynamic to maybe 3. Okay. And now I'll do a crease. Let's see what that looks like. So if I turn off the color, maybe it's easier to see. I mean, it's better. It's better. But what's happening is I'm getting like it's a bit rounder than I actually wait, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe this is a good opportunity for me to do that those edge loops. I was not edge loops, the piping I was telling you about a second ago. So let's try it. Let's try it. I'm going to I don't want to do this. Okay, I know what I want to do. I'm going to I'm going to make these their own groups. The face here. Let's see. So now I'm holding down Alt and just kind of dragging over the faces, right? And now I can just group these. Oops, with polygroup. So let's go to polygroup and say, um, let's say polygroup a polygroup all. There you go. So see now that's its own thing here. So now I can isolate this like so. And if I want to, I can make some edge loops or not edge loop. I'm sorry, make some piping around this. Maybe the easier way to do this is to let's do this. I'm going to undo what I just did. I'm going to duplicate this whole thing. So I'll go to layers, not layers, I'm sorry. Go to subtools. What I like to do for stuff like this is rather than I've got a million subtools right now, right? So what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to just clone this whole thing. All right, now I just got one thing here, which is much easier because what I can do is I can duplicate this. Okay, so now I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's an extract two, right? So it's soloed. I can come over here. Let me know if the hey Chris, what's going on? I haven't looked at the chat in a minute. See, I got used to Bradley being here. Tariq, what's going on? Is Dredd one of your favorite characters? I do like Judge Dredd. I really liked the way Carl Urban played him on in the movies. I didn't collect the graphic novels or anything like that, but I do. I thought that movie was dope. And how could you not like Sylvester Stallone? Let's see. Wow, that was an awesome model. Is Hulk hollow inside? That is, yeah. So that Hulk is hollow. Um, the resin one I did is hollow as well, but it's got thicker walls. Man, I wish I had brought it upstairs. It's in the basement right now. I started painting it, but that one, the detail is bonkers because I did it on a Anycubic Photon M3 Premium. So the detail is really, really sick. All right. So now in ZModeler, if I go back and press the space bar, I have polygroup, and as it is, I have it set to polygroup all. I don't want to do that. I want to set this now to polyloop again. And if I just click on this, I can now get what I want to turn into, get exactly what I want to turn into piping for this model. It's going to be hard to see on this one because everything is pink. Let's go over here. And I'm just selecting all of these, like that, that, that. Now, remember I told you you want that orange line. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's so blurry. The orange line is now following, it's vertical, right? If it's horizontal, what'll happen is, let's see if I can get it to be horizontal. Yeah. So now see how it grouped it the wrong way? I don't want that. So I just want to make sure that it's vertical for all of these. And I can quickly do that. All right. So now this is my duplicated subtool. I've made all of my edges this pink polygroup color. So if I isolate those and delete everything else, now I can go and I can make myself some piping. What's going to happen now, though, is it's going to kind of go over each other and look kind of like, I don't know, not clean. So let's just see what happens if I do a bit of an extrude, but not a giant one. Let's try it. Polygroup all. Let's see. See how it kind of penetrates through the other ones like that. I don't know if this is going to work or not, right? But if I hit dynamic now, it's okay, right? So now let's turn on the other one. And we will turn on dynamic for this. And I will turn off solo and see how now we have some piping on our edge. It's pretty nice. And what we can do here is I can grab that and I can inflate it. And it should look a little more like what I want, right? So let's go over to deformation. I'll give it a bit of an inflate. I might want to try inflate balloon, but let's see just a regular inflate. Yeah, I had to punch in the numbers because it's too hard to control. Like 1, right? Not too shabby. It's okay, right? But you see where it kind of overlaps. It's not the cleanest. I don't love that. I could adjust it. Let's see what it looks like with Dredd though. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna undo the inflate. I kind of like it sharp like that. It's kind of nice. I'm not mad at that. All right, let's copy this. Subtool. I'll call this piping so I can tell what it is. Copy. Come back over to this one and hit paste. Man, I got so many subtools. It's crazy. Paste. Okay. Let's turn on dynamic here. I mean, it's not bad, you know. Like, I don't know. I play around with it a little bit. But yeah, so now at this point, what I could do is I could, you know, start to sculpt in some of the details on this armor, make it feel a little more like it is maybe a ballistic armor, like you might see on, you know, a military person, or maybe a bomb diffuser or something like that. Right. Right now it's so low. There is nothing for me to sculpt on. If I was to turn off dynamic, you can see like there's no way for me to sculpt on this. So probably what I would do is I would again go back to that one that I had the duplicate of. Right. Turn off dynamic, turn on solo. Let's do this. I'm going to duplicate this one. And I will turn on dynamic. Yeah, and I'll apply it. Before I do that, though, let's do one thing. Let me let that save. See if there's any more questions. Oh, Angry Monday's in here. What's up? What's up, Angry Monday? Let's see. What else did I miss? Zane is in here. What's going on, Zane? Do you know if there'll be a ZBrush Summit this year? I'm absolutely certain there'll be a ZBrush Summit this year. Okay, how often do you save different file iterations so you can go back just in case you need an older file? Um, Not enough. Actually, no, I've got a ton. If you saw my Wolverine, I've got like so many versions of that. But thank you for reminding me to save because I haven't saved the entire time I was here. Let's hit save. Oh, look who's back. What's up, dude?
Sorry, God doesn't want me to be on right now.
Mm. What's
But
the
I'm defiant.
what's the weather like there? Not good?
It's rainy, rainy, rainy. I need to change the. I lost it.
Oh, I was telling the chat I haven't saved the whole night. I went to save and ZBrush crashed. So
Hey, but you got one of those quick saves.
hopefully, let's see.
Did you answer this question? Do you know if there still will be a ZBrush Summit this year?
I believe there will. Yeah, I was actually on the one. I just didn't have time to hide it. Yeah, no, I just answered the iterations question, and it crashed on me. So there's that. How did you do the badge? Oh, let me see if I can get it to open back up and I didn't lose anything. I'll show you.
I'm confident you didn't lose anything up until the last quick save.
I believe in you.
Nothing. The ZBrush save, like it does a save, like as it's crashing. That one saved my butt quite a few times.
Sometimes I don't get that every time. You get that every time? You don't get that every time. You get that sometime.
I get that most of the time on certain versions.
I believe I have everything I need here. I do. Nice. ZBrush for the win. Okay, so now let me save it for real this time. Save. The badge. I'll show you how I did that badge. So for the badge, I found the logo. Let's see. Judge Dredd badge. All right, so I found some reference for the logo. I really like the way that this one looked. This one. So how did I do this? Dang, how did I do this? This is so long ago.
You did an alpha? Looks like you probably did some type of alpha.
Yeah, but the alpha wouldn't have given me the beveled edge. I seem to remember doing this in parts.
Yeah, you always do everything in parts. I think you did in parts.
Yeah, hold on. Grab this. This is all put together now, but
yeah, you probably blended it together.
I
the
think
wireframe. That'll tell us the story.
Well, I Z-retopoed everything, so the type I did just in ZBrush, I did I actually did do an alpha for that, and I drew it out, and then I Z-remeshed it. For the badge, I got the shape by making an alpha, the general shape, but to get the to get all of the nice kind of like angles on here, I don't know how I did that. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I did this a long time ago. I might have just used like H-polish and then did all these separate and put them back together. That sounds like a real kind of backwards way of doing it that I would have done it. I'm sure there's much better ways of doing it, but I didn't do it that way. I like doing things hard. Bradley knows that. I don't do it the easy way ever.
Yes. Hard mode, everything.
the only person that knows I didn't do it the fast way is Bradley. That's why he can't live.
Take me out, please.
Gotta take him out. Good luck with that, though.
Good luck, though.
Good luck, though. I wish you would. Bradley's like, when you coming for the king, you better not miss. All right, so I got this here. Let's do a Z-remesh. Okay, solo, off dynamic. Oh no, I said before I did that I wanted to add an edge loop. All right, sorry, forgot. So rather than adding the edge loop, what I can do is I can just drag the one that I already made down. I'll just slide edge loop complete. Just kind of slide this down. I just want that back to be nice and crispy. Oh, did anybody notice? Did the screen look any different when Bradley was not in here?
Why you blaming me? Just so you know, before I came in, because I knew you would say that,
you checked. It looked the same.
Look the same. I knew you would do that.
That's you knew I was going to do that. See, he knows.
Like, let me think of the most jerk thing I can think of.
I want to blame this on Bradley. Is that wrong? Is that so wrong? That's not wrong.
Because your stream comes from your computer. I have no effect on it. Nothing. But it's okay. Blame me. Because I'm here.
I don't believe it. I feel like you don't look as good either. I feel like
it's all bad. I looked at it.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Why is great about it?
Why is it sometimes it looks great and sometimes it doesn't? All right, what I'm doing here is essentially, this is essentially what I was telling Bradley about kind of controlling how sharp your edges are. I usually kind of put in these holding lines, and the reason I do that rather than doing a crease is because I don't want these to be super soft on the corners, if that makes sense, right? So if I hit dynamic now, you see how sharp it is? I want to see what this looks like. I kind of like this actually. And I think by doing this, I'm going to have more room to add a very nice bit of piping around here as well. So let me add these loops. Let's probably faster to use my stylus. I've been sculpting, or not sculpting, but working with my mouse for like an hour, which is crazy. You really want to work in hard mode, only sculpt with a mouse. Right, Bradley?
I wouldn't recommend it.
You got to do it. That's how you got to, it's like, that's how you earn
You'll
your...
angry at yourself.
What if I told you I sculpted that entire bishop with a mouse? What would you say to me?
I would quit sculpting. Actually, I would like, you know what?
This ain't for me.
You know what? If that's the gold standard, I don't want to be a part of it. You can't do it.
I don't want to live in a world where you have to sculpt with mice. That's not me.
It's like,
okay. So this is one of those situations I was telling you guys about earlier where the topology here is just wonky, right? Like that's just crazy. So what I could do here is I can easily just kind of delete some of these polygons and then clean up the geo. Well, normally I could do that, but I have thickness to this, so yeah, not so much on this one. Let's do this. Oops, stop. ZModeler.
if you want to cheat it, you could go beat a Maya, cut the loop, and send it back.
I could. This ain't Maya Live. This is not Maya Live.
No, I'm just talking out loud. If anyone was interested in a way of doing this, and you didn't want to like redo everything, you could just cut it. There's a reason why there's a bridge to Maya built into ZBrush.
Yeah, you could do that. What I'm gonna do is delete the thickness, delete the polys, fix it with ZModeler. ZModeler. What you know about that? Because the whole thing is kind of messy. Done.
Hey, that is faster.
Then I should just be able to project the details back. Should be able to. All right. Let's do this. Bring this back. Let's go to ZModeler. Now, I don't have that thickness, so the best thing for me to do is to flip faces, poly group all, click. Now I can just extrude this. Extrude, poly group all. Bingo, bango, done. Done, son. No Maya involved. I don't need no Maya up in here. Clean.
Split part, remesh.
I could, but well, remesh is going to make all of these soft edges, or all of these edges get real soft, and it because it's cutting into that part of his ribs, it cuts under his ribs. More than likely, it's going to resolve it by doing some more kind of like this kind of stuff right here, right? That's because it's cutting under his ribs, so that's why I didn't do it that way. Mostly.
I just don't want to do it your way because you did it your way.
Well, hey, man, I would be upset with you if you said anything other than that. You know who talks that way?
Hey, Mike, Brad, question. Do I need Substance Painter to sign up for the workshop? No, you do not. There's actually going to be parts in it where we go over poly painting and still be able to get your work inside of a renderer. So no, you do not. Substance Painter is not required. And what's great is that it'll be information that you can have if you want to ever use Substance Painter. You have a service you paid for that taught you. Focus on drawing those edges.
All right, dynamic. There you go. Looks like one of those 80s jackets I used to have.
The zippers?
No, the colors. I used to have like a vest and it had the colors like this. You don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, bro. You got
all right. So now that I did that, what I can do is let's do this. I'm going to turn off that piping because I don't want that. I'm going to, let's do one more thing. So super sharp now because I have those edge loops right up against the corners. So the thing that I like a lot about making your own edge loops is if I slide these, I can soften the edges. So let's slide this down and this down. Right now, if I hit dynamic, see how now it's not so sharp on the corners? That's what I want. So I can selectively go in now and get some of these edges. Let's see if I can do it. It's hard to do it when it's in dynamic mode. It's easier just to turn off dynamic so you can see them. But yeah, so now I can kind of come in and slide these. And if I wanted to have this side be sharp, this side be soft, I could totally do that. All right, so just a way to have more control over your sculpt here. So everything I ever make as far as hard surface details is done in ZBrush for the most part. I'm not really a big, traditional 3D modeling software guy. So I like the fact that I can come in here and do all this stuff with ZModeler. It's pretty awesome to me. All right. So yeah, you can see the difference now. Like this side is a little less sharp than the other side, and that's all I wanted. All right, slide this over.
Mike, I don't know if Maxon has anyone after us, but it's time.
It's time to close it up. Okay. All right, guys. So listen, if you enjoyed what you saw, please give this video a like. And if you really enjoy what you saw, come on over and join us on our stream as well on YouTube. It's the Stylus League. So Bradley can throw up a link to our YouTube. We have a Discord channel. We have an amazing community over there. And you can also get more information about our class that's coming up in October, where it's a whole superhero character pipeline. All right. So
YouTube, I'm seeing another link to the registration. Class starts October 5th.
Yep. All right. So
It's
yeah,
seats while they last.
Get the seats while they last. Yeah, exactly. They're going fast. All right. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you next time.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Bradley. Wait. Hold up.
Yes.
Let me turn on everything.
I'm not gonna press the button. Not gonna press the button.
All right. I'm gonna turn on everything. So if you're wondering what this is, if you came in after the fact, where's the ground? I had too many groups here, too many things. All right, turn that on. There you go. This is Judge Dredd versus Judge Death. All right. And the stuff that doesn't have color yet is what I worked on today. All right, guys. Thanks. Take care.
Peace.